guys, Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music, hanging out in Nashville at this amazing
facility?
Soundcheck? Soundcheck it's called, but it's this giant rehearsal facility.
It ain't a Soundcheck.
It ain't a Soundcheck, no.
No, but it's a good name.
Yeah, but I'm here with Phil X.
Marty.
We're both first generation YouTube people.
Holy
We're
smokes.
still here.
We're still here.
Real quick, you guys, so excited. Phil X just made a brand new guitar course that is absolutely amazing, and it's in the link below. But real quick, we're gonna pick 3 comments in this video right here to get it for free. So be sure to leave a comment. Good luck. We just finished making like a guitar course, music course, instructed, taught, mentored by the one and only you, Phil X. So we just finished. We spent 2 days doing licks, riffs, talked about gear. You showed a bunch of your secret, well, they're not going to be secrets anymore. I hope that's okay.
That's okay. I'm ready to share with the world.
Yeah. And I'm so excited because I'm sure people have been asking for you to put something like this together, right?
For a long time.
You've done it live a lot where you do like a masterclass kind of vibe.
This is more focused.
Yeah.
On, I can really dig in to, hey, this is how I came up with this. And I think the origin of some licks is as important as the lick.
Yeah.
Because it shows people where it came from and what I morphed it into.
Yeah.
And then, well, shit, I could take that lick that I like and make it me. And that's what I'm trying to show people, that's how you get to have your individual sound.
Well, one of my favorite parts was that I got to sit and just watch and soak it all in for 2 days.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of really cool stuff that I'm thinking about now that we're sitting here and it's all done. So people can get it now in the link below.
Yes.
I can't see it down there, but it is down there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The link is down there, the Phil X course. It's down there. Check it out. Very happy. I mean, you did an amazing job, man.
Thanks, man. I mean, you know what? It was fun, and the crew and the team, everybody here is awesome.
Yeah.
And that's 100% of what makes it good, great, and fun.
We had lights. We had haze.
We got a light show. Look out!
We had lights. We had haze. There was a couple of, you did a bunch of licks and like just your own kind of signature style, which I think is a combination. I'm just going to speak for it myself from watching, but clearly, I mean, you haven't shied away from talking about Van Halen being kind of your North Star.
Never.
Never. Yeah, never.
I would never, ever. It's funny, as amazing of a guitar player as Eddie Van Halen was, I really absorbed his fire, his sense of fire and joy.
Yeah.
And that's what I exude when I go on stage. I want fire here and the joy. When you look at old pictures of Eddie Van Halen, he's so happy to be on stage. It's like, I get to do this all the time.
Yeah.
And that's what I have, and that's what I love to project, and that's what I love to show people. This is supposed to be fun.
This is your happy place.
This is your happy place. This is the happiest place on earth.
Yeah.
It's not Disney World. It's on stage in front of people.
That's right.
And doing your thing and making a statement and having a voice and using that voice to express what's in your heart and your loins.
Nice.
Yeah.
You said something a few times about how when you see a show, you don't want a guitar player handing you flowers. What was the saying? Don't hand me flowers.
It gets colorized in other ways, in many ways. But it's like, I don't want you to hand me flowers with your licks. I want you to take a tooth out.
Yes.
Tooth out. I want to get punched in the face. Like, there are so many players, and I'm not naming names. I'm not naming anybody. I want to see something that shows fire, like I've been talking about, danger. Rock and roll is supposed to be dangerous. There's supposed to be a recklessness. And after that recklessness is recovery. If you're falling over a lick or something, land on your feet and that gives me, you know, there's a dramatic response to that in the listener. Right. And that's me going, oh, he made it. Holy shit, he made it. or she made it, or whatever. The whole point is just when you tumble, get back up and run, you know, and I think that's so important.
Love it. So in this course that we just finished, you broke down some classic Phil X and the Drills riffs.
Yes.
But you didn't just show the riffs, you showed kind of like, you know, the essence and where they came from and how your brain works and your creativity in your guitar playing. But then you also did some really killer licks. There was a couple that were just ferocious. I'm thinking one where it was like pentatonic, but you were like sliding into the position.
Yeah.
Can you show me a little taste of that?
Yeah, it goes from something really short and sweet to elongated to different ways you can apply it.
Yeah, so we'll give people a taste.
The first lick that I came up with was so long ago. It might have been like 89, 90, back when I was 50.
We've talked about that. You're 100?
I'm 100.
Yeah.
So slowly, that's kind of like a... Basically, is taking these pentatonic boxes that we all know so well and changing the sequence and then throwing a slide in there so it just doesn't sound like an exercise or you know, like a scale. It sounds like a lick. And then it was funny because I wanted to make it longer. So in 2016, when we were getting ready to go on the road with Bon Jovi to support This House Is Not For Sale, we opened with This House Is Not For Sale, and John is a live guy. He thinks, how can we make this arrangement live? So the songs ended, let's do a coda. So John Shanks started playing the rhythm of the opening song, and the band built it for like, I don't know, 32, 64 bars. I don't count. I just feel it.
Yeah.
And then Phil, this is your moment. This is Good Evening, Bon Jovi is here. We've done the first song of the set. Phil is going to show you who he is in this, how many bars.
Yeah.
So, and he even was like, just show him what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
At first, I was like, okay, so, I mean, I don't want to overplay. I want to keep it in the essence of the song. What can I do that'll be really me and cool? And I took that lick and I elongated it at one of the rehearsals where I didn't think of what I was going to do. I just did it a bunch of times and, oh, that worked and that worked and that worked and that worked, and then strung together a bionic piece, if you will, that I could play every night. And that one lick of this essence was so again, taking all those pentatonic boxes that we know so well, keeping them all on the E and B string, and just doing the slide so it grows and grows and grows and grows. And the coolest thing about doing that lick night after night after night, there at one point, Tico started jumping on the rhythmic pattern at the end of it, and I'm going, and he's going on the drums, and then we end on that together. And I just turned around in front of 20,000 people and went, what the was that? That was amazing. So that means, like, you know, when you're in a band and everybody pays attention and there's chemistry, that's magic. But he's been doing it. We're rehearsing next week. He'll probably do it when we rehearse next week. It's something that I started, that he jumped on, that we do all the time. And it's like a brotherhood vibe.
Yeah.
And I love that. But the whole point about the lick is just simple pentatonic stuff with a slide and changing the syncopated rhythm of it.
Yeah.
And I think stuff like that is what's really important to making identifiable character that you have in your playing.
Yeah, well, it definitely doesn't sound like just some scale pattern when you were playing and showing all that stuff.
Right.
It was really cool. There was one other lick. There's a bunch of licks in there, but there was another cool one where you used, I think it was more like a cascading with doubling back to the open strings. Remember what I'm talking about? Yeah, explain that. That's also in your course.
Yes. This is in the song by Phil X and the Drills on the Stupid Good Lookings Volume 1 record. It's called Saddest Girl in the World. And I'm playing live with the band, and I'm playing a rhythm part, but in between each rhythm part, at the end of those bars is a segue in which we all got from our heroes.
Right.
Right? Joe Walsh does that. And Edward also did that. And so many people just do that thing. And I wanted to kind of bring that back because it's gotten to the point where everybody's just doing eighth notes in the chorus with an arpeggiated chorus delayed sound on top to add the little flowery spots. I mean, I don't want to do that anymore. You know,
Right.
to me, it's getting so car commercial, it's crazy. So I'm like, if I'm doing a lick, it's gonna stand out.
Yeah.
So the thing that popped into my head, because we were in the key of G, was so it's got kind of a country vibe, but when you put the saturation of rock and roll on it, it has a completely different vibe. And it's like I'm playing rock.
Yeah.
And it's got its vibe.
Dig it.
And I love Dissonance. I've been saying that for years. I love chromaticism, I love dissonance, and if I can sneak that into a bar here and there, I'm happy.
Yeah, you talked about the evil note. What's
The
that?
evil note, man!
What's that?
This is the evil note. So like that's the evil note.
All right.
And then the flat five. That's evil.
And then one more, overbending. Okay.
I can't get enough, man.
No more. I
can't get enough, man. I can't get enough.
They can get more in that down there. But real quick, I talked about being a first generation YouTube. I don't know what generation YouTube is up to, but literally, I mean, it was over 15 years ago. Was it closer to
Yes.
20 years ago?
20? We started in 2006 or 7 or 8.
And that was Fred and Americana was what
And that
that
was
was called?
I think it was a good 8 to 10 years, I think, that we did it.
Wow.
And for me, it wasn't my channel.
Right.
So I didn't have to put so much into it, but we didn't know what we were doing. And for not knowing what we were doing, when Dustin Jack called me and said, I don't know if this is right, I have to kind of look into it, but I think we have like 50 million collective views on all the videos.
Wow.
And I was like, I don't even know what that means. What are you talking about?
Right.
Because we didn't know.
Right. I think part of the excitement too was that it was just the Wild West. You didn't know what it was going to become.
Exactly.
So you're like so in the moment.
Yeah.
And your charisma's there, and you're just like having fun because it's nothing. You're just like in the moment being yourself.
To be there during the growth, like it was literally a 1.5 to 2 minute video. Here's the treble pickup. Here's the neck pickup. See you next week.
Right.
It was kind of like that. And then I plugged into an amp that had a little bit of saturation, and I did Eruption with using the tuning peg to do the dive bomb.
Yeah.
And bam. And then now I'm singing. So now I'm singing Zeppelin, Funk 49, and I got a Gretsch White Falcon. So I'm playing, Humble Pie, and it all came together. And I could pick up an SG and hit a chord and go, oh my God, inspiration comes. I play the first thing that pops into my head. And it may not be an SG band like Black Sabbath or Angus Young and AC/DC. It's just the sound evoked this. So this is what I'm gonna play. And there was something really genuine about that. And I love that.
How long have you been playing with Bon Jovi now?
Solid it's been 11 years now. Because It was
Wow.
like, in 2011, I just filled in and Richie came back. And in 2013, I hadn't played a Bon Jovi song in 2 years. And they're like, we need you in Calgary tonight. I'm at Trader Joe's shopping for the family. And the one thing that was really funny was the phone ringing, haven't heard from the guy in 2 years, and it's John Bon Jovi. And you want to go, John Bon Jovi calling, what up? Hey, what's going on, Johnny? Like that. And he goes, hey, we need you in Calgary tonight. Scott's going to call you. Scott Casey was a road manager. He called me. Moving on, I didn't get to Calgary in time because it was a slow jet. But
did they play that night?
yeah, without
without
Richie.
lead guitar.
It was just, well, Bobby Bandera has been had been the auxiliary guitar player since 2006.
Okay.
In necessity, doing all the parts like overdubs that Richie couldn't play live or stuff he didn't want to play live, which was great because it's stuff I didn't want to play live.
Right.
It was made everything easy. Bobby has an amazing voice. He was doing a lot of backgrounds, but he took all the solos, and John had to hold down rhythm guitar that night, which he hated.
Right.
She goes, okay, you missed the show, no problem. Tomorrow, Edmonton, you're on. And we did a nice lengthy sound check. And then after a month of shows, they're like, we're gonna need you to go to Europe next month because Richie's not coming back. I thought Richie would come back like 2 years prior. Didn't come back. And I've been here since.
So that was 11 years ago?
Yeah, 2013.
Wow. That's a long run, man. So that's the side of you is playing in a legendary band and fulfilling a role.
Yeah.
But then you have your own way of expressing your true self with the drills. And there's an amazing riff that you show in your new chorus that's in the link down there with the one with the slide and the bending.
Yes, sir.
Do you have your slide?
I do, man.
Dude, you got to show that riff. What's that song called?
It's called Talk You Off the Ledge.
Dude, and what album is that from?
That's from We Bring the Rock and Roll. This is interesting because what I do is I do a quick bend behind the nut on the low E string. So go. So with the distortion. So that's the sleazy, crazy Phil X. But the stupid Phil X is, that's the verse. And then I have to sing on top of it. My favorite part is the pre-chorus when I'm just hitting the D in octaves and shaking it. Yeah. But the vocal is like, now you wanna know, now you wanna know, now you wanna know, now you wanna know. I'm doing that. And then the chorus is, I'm doing that. And then the bridge is another riff, and it's all single note stuff. I love it. It's like, it's also the ending, but it's all that kind of stuff. I did steal a little section of a vocal and change the words. And I can't say the band, and I can't do the part right now. No, it's because it'll totally give it away.
Yeah. That's what you do. You disguise it.
Disguise it, baby. I think disguising is important.
Or, well, really, you're meshing them together.
Well, yes. If you put all of them back to back in the line, it would be an amazing guitar poster of all your heroes. And you take a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you put it into your bucket of stuff, and then you swirl it all together. And if it sounds too much like anybody, you got to morph it a little bit. And then when you do play it and somebody goes, where'd that lick come from? You're like, right here. But I mean, I'm not afraid to name my influences. I'm not afraid to name guitar players. I know sometimes my vibrato sounds like Angus Young, and I know sometimes my quick stuff has the fire of Edward Van Halen. I know sometimes I can get minor harmonic and I have a little Randy Rhoads in there. I know it's all in there. You know, and the heaviness and the riffs can come from Tony Iommi or anybody that plays heavy.
That one song about giving them rock and roll, what's that called?
We Bring the Rock and Roll.
We Bring the Rock and Roll?
Yeah.
Can you show me that intro real quick?
Yeah, I wanted it to be like kind of eruption-y, but not eruption-y. I wanted to just open up it's in A, but the sound, not sound like eruption or trying to do that. I start on the G, so I go.
I gotta scoop my face up.
The cool thing about that is that I did it like, I was in my studio years ago, the studio that existed years ago, and I just had this moment of, let's just do this, and I put the overdrive on so I could have that extra sustain and make it sound a little smoother, and then when I went into the riff of the song, I turned the overdrive off, like I would do live, and you hear it on the record.
Awesome.
Yeah, you go, hey, that tone changed. I go, yeah, I turned the overdrive off.
I love it. Phil X, once again, it was a pleasure to have you here for this video, but also I had such an amazing time getting to, forcing you to hang out with me for 2 days.
Forced!
I was so happy to help collaborate with you on putting this new course together for you. And it was a real thrill, man. I couldn't thank you enough for your time, for all of it. And I'm excited for people to check it out too.
I'm excited too. I'm really glad that I got to put this in a package of sharing with those people. But I want to thank you and your whole crew. Everybody here has been amazing.
Thanks, man. Well, I had a great time with you. Once again, so stoked to have Phil X here for this video. And also, like I said, we just finished, fresh off the press, making a guitar course taught by Phil. You get all the essence of Phil, the sights, the smells, the sounds. We're gonna pick 3 comments from this video right here to get it for free. So be sure to leave a comment. Good luck, and check out that link below. See ya.